everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can make these rope plant hangers that are really in at the moment. They're all over Pinterest and Instagram. I think they're lovely and they're super easy to make, so if you want to find out how you can do this yourself, then just keep watching and I hope you enjoy the video. So I used piping cord, string, a tape measure, masking tape, scissors and also this little succulent in this really just nice grey pot. So I measured out 8 strands of string, double the length of how long I wanted the finished plant holder to be. This ended up being for a tiny plant because it actually wasn't long enough for the plant that I showed you before. But I did do it 8 times because then each hanger bit has 2 strands, so it's just a bit of a stronger plant hanger basically. So once you've got your string laid out like this, you're going to make a loop in that end bit that's all still joined together. So what I did was, instead of just tying a knot with the whole thing, I cut off a smaller piece of string and then just tied that around it. Made it really secure just by tying like, I don't know, like 20,000 knots around it. But that's just going to be what you then hang onto your hook or whatever you're hanging it off. You also just want to cut the loops out of the other ends just because you want them all to be individual strands. Otherwise it ain't going to work. So now I'm just going to tape that one end to the table just so that I can kind of pull on the strands and it won't like pull it away, if you know what I mean. So you could just always like get somebody to hold this for you or hook it around a door handle or anything like that. But what I'm doing here is now section it into 4 sections, and as you can see I've got the 2 strands in each section. So we're saying we've got section 1, 2, 3 and 4, so you're going to take a strand from section 1 and 2 and knot those together. I wanted to measure the distance from the loop and where I put the knot just so that it all hangs like evenly. So I did 7 inches from the top before I tied the first knot, if that makes sense. You're just going to repeat this for the rest of the strands, so just pairing up the strands that are next to each other, measuring them 7 inches from the top or however much you want, and then just tying it in a tight knot. It's now going to make more of a circle because you're going to pair the 2 remaining strands and they're obviously from each side. So I did then just sort of put that out of the way because it ended up sitting like on top of the others. So don't be confused by the fact that I have just moved that out of the way. All you're going to do now is treat it as if the knots are where the loop was. So measuring from the knots, I did I think 3 inches and then I tied another knot. And then literally just did the same thing that I did with the other strands. So you want to take the next strand and pair that with the strand next to it. I feel like I just said strand so many times, more than I ever have in my life. This is where I just grabbed that last section again and just continued what I was doing, and then obviously you end up with the 2 untied strands, so then you just want to do the same thing and tie those together. Then you just want to make everything even so that it pulls into one sort of bunch like this, and then obviously actually you can use a clear elastic band because that would be like probably even more secure than this, but I just then used some more string and tied that around and around and around in loads of knots, just making sure that that bit is like really secure because obviously that's going to be taking all the weight. And then that's literally it. I just trimmed it so that they were all even at the bottom there, and then you just want to pop your plant pot with your plant in it into the hanger and you're done. I did then make 2 more of these because I still had 2 plants that I wanted them for, so I just thought I'd film that still and just whiz through it for you. So out of all 3 that I ended up making, I think this one has got to be my favourite. It's so minimalist and so like Pinteresty that I just really love it. But I love all of them, and I wish I kind of put some beads on some of them or something like that, just got a little bit more creative. But I'm still really happy with them, and I hope that you've been inspired to make some of these yourself. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you again next week. Bye!